Chronoswiss really shocked me with this one, a new model with great options. Hello, welcome to the wonderful world of rare watches. My objective with Swiss Watch King was to introduce new and exciting brands to the world. Today is no different. We're talking about the new release that just hit the market from Chronoswiss. Chronoswiss is a brand that I've been closely following since about 6 years now. The brand has evolved quite a lot, from their model range, movements, as well as design changes. The evolution is very visible if you go back in time and compare them. I personally think it's a step in the right direction, and will make the watches more relatable to the watch collectors of today. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a completely new model line, the new quintessential Chronoswiss with lots of details and refinement. The Strike Two collection. The two new models that are spearheading this new collection are the H2O and the Golden Gear models. The brand did quite a lot of design exercises back in the day, with shapes and time indications. One of them was the Chronoswiss Tora, which had a horizontal regulator dial style. The watch was introduced in the 90s and had a long central minute and seconds hand, a sub-dial for the 24-hour indication, as well as the sub-dial for the hours. Since Chronoswiss is known mostly for the regulator style time indication, the Strike 2 is no different, of course. But before we jump into these new stunning dials, there are other significant changes that Chronoswiss implemented in this new line. The case, crown, as well as the movement are new. Although the crown is smaller, it is still in the typical onion-shaped design that they feature on other watches. In this model line, the top of the crown is flattened, and there is a micro bead blasted surface going through the middle section of the crown. In my opinion, this design element makes the watch a bit more modern. Another element that was redesigned for this model is the case, which is now polished on the sides, instead of the vertical brushing we know from the other models they produce. The lugs are shorter, polished, and are hollowed out, still using screws to nicely secure the strap. The dimensions are toned down, the case thickness is only 12.7mm and the diameter 40mm. Considering how three-dimensional the dial is, the proportions of the 17-part stainless steel case are great. Let me dive into the main talking points of these new watches. The beautiful dials. It's hard to choose which one I prefer, since they both have their unique features. Considering that these two exact watches are prototypes, they are well executed. Like any dial that I like, this one is also multi-layered. If we look at the H2O model first, the striking blue surface jumps out. This is actually a separate plate put on top of the base movement. The dial was made by using lasers. They created this surface, which personally reminds me of a windy ocean or a frozen lake somewhere in the middle of the wilderness. After the laser treatment, the plate is CVD coated with this special blue color. The more I filmed it, the more I fell for it. The different grooves and edges, like a fluid going around the bridges. To keep in line with Chronoswiss, the regulator sub-dials as well as the minute chapter ring are positioned above the dial. The minute track, which is satin finish, is slightly hovering above the blue plate. At 9 o'clock you have the second sub-dial. The sub-dial almost looks like a hole or arena of sorts. The lower part is handmade in Chronoswiss atelier in Lucerne. The guilloche pattern is made in-house, of course, on a very old machine. It's a rare skill not many watch companies have today. At the end, the guilloche dial is also rhodium plated to give it an extra shine. The satin finish seconds ring is placed above the blue plate with a few pins, and the leaf-shaped hand makes its rotation every 60 seconds, making sure the dial isn't completely static. All the hands are blued. At 3 o'clock or the right side of the dial, there is a contrast. We go from traditional guilloche to skeletonization. Here you can see where the name comes from, the Strike 2, from these two vertical bridges underneath the dial. The bridges as well as the hour ring are satin finished and polished, more high-end elements as well as blued screws. I love how you can see the exposed gears below the hour hand, as well as the big ruby holding the hand in place. I think they really nailed the color combination on this model, a balanced mix between the silver and blue tones. The Golden Gear model is like a brother to the H2O, a brother that got a piece of the other gene pool, a sleeker, more elegant version. Silver and gold tones always look good on watch, so I think this combination is a home run. The multi-layer dial has the same features as the H2O, of course, a satin finished minute track going around the periphery with plume dots for the 5-minute increments and brownish dots for the single minutes. By the way, both watches feature Super Luminova, as you can clearly see here, and I think it's actually a very strong one. So let me know, are you a fan of Super Luminova or not? The model is called Golden Gear because essentially everything which looks like gold is actually plated with 5N gold. The guilloche pattern in the middle of the second subdial is again handmade in Lucerne by the Chronoswiss master craftsman, creating beautiful guilloche patterns. It shimmers very nicely. As on the H2O, there is a Chronoswiss number plaque at 11 o'clock recessed into the plate. The big plate is vertically brushed and adds an element of contrast with the golden components. The bridges are polished as well as the hour dial ring. The details are remarkable, and in case you're wondering, this watch comes also with a completely new movement. Chronoswiss has partnered up with La Joux-Perret, a very skillful movement manufacturer from La Chaux-de-Fonds. Together they have developed this movement using an automatic winding system. The movement features a tungsten rotor which is made out of a single piece bearing the Chronoswiss name, and also on ball bearings. The overall quality and details of this robust 55-hour power reserve movement will make for a reliable daily companion. For a price of 9,800 Swiss francs, both models are limited to 100 pieces each. Which one would you choose? Let me know. The H2O with its vivid blue color, or the more sleek golden gears? Leave a comment down below. I really want to see which one you prefer and which one wins, of course. If you want to learn more about these watches, just click the links in the video description below. And as always guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.